I think it's fair to say that high school is an important time in all of our lives. We start to develop as people and truly engage the thought of our future careers. That being said, with so much development taking place within a measly 4 years, the innate awkwardness that comes with that evolution is sure to become a reality. This strange period is often left fairly unexplored in video games, at least in a realistic and sensible manner, but Life is Strange takes an honest crack at it. And I gotta say, while Life is Strange is far from a perfect experience, it honestly does translate the teenage high school fantasy into game form fairly well. The opening scene communicates these emotions to me the best. Max walks through the Blackwell hallways with some obscure indie band blasting in her ears as she dissociates from the inherently judgmental world around her. Moments like this are Life is Strange at its absolute best, because under all the crazy choices, the murder mystery, the time travel, Life is Strange is really just a story about a young adult trying to find her place in the future of the world. And honestly, this is a scary reality that all teenagers have to face at some point. But Life is Strange tackles this idea with a confidence and accuracy I've yet to see in another game. Sure, the game is exaggerated, outlandish, stupid, but I believe there is a reason the series has garnered more positive reactions from people my age. Hell yeah, Life is Strange is corny, cringy, utterly stupid, but it is the high school that I remember from 4 years ago. I felt a nostalgic rush when I first played Dungeons & Dragons and Before the Storm because when I was Chloe's age, this was always something I used to do. In my junior year of high school, I had fond memories of leaving school early to smoke a certain substance and play Pathfinder. In playing D&D, I felt a sense of nostalgia I simply haven't felt since I was a stupid, naive 16-year-old. Modern video games, while enjoyable with their own messages and themes, never portrayed such a simple and relatable high school moment to me. I honestly feel this notion seep through the game's dialogue as well, and a lot of people really hate the cringy dialogue. While I can't help but agree, I feel a lot of critics have largely missed the point. Being a teenager is hella awkward. Sure, hearing a line as jarring as "go fuck your selfie" is really fucking stupid, but isn't that kind of the point here? Teenagers say dumb shit all the time. I'm not claiming that some of these lines are a perfect representation of today's teenage youth, but I honestly believe the shittiness of the dialogue is purely intentional. It's a more innately teenage script, and even though it is profoundly stupid, I respect the hell out of LiS for going for it. Either way, Max and Chloe are pretty consistently written, so this issue more so falls on the supporting cast. And despite this, through Life is Strange's story alone, we could still gain a lot from these characters. Kate Marsh's arc is incredibly important to the entire plot of the series and has a lot of important statements to make on its own anyway. It's a side story about cyberbullying in a school setting, and it talks about this issue with a level of realism and respect. In this case, it is especially effective because Kate Marsh is really naive. We sympathize with her regret, and we want her to feel better because high schoolers naturally just do dumb shit. This is a good way in which Life is Strange understands exactly what it is trying to portray. It's trying to be real. Yeah, it's stupid, it's overdramatic, it's at times poorly written, by conventional standards anyway, but I felt right at home with these characters, and really, I didn't doubt their legitimacy in their high school struggles for even a mere second. Even Victoria, who seems irredeemable at the beginning of the game, seemingly opens up. Sure, she's being a fucking asshole to you the entire game for seemingly no reason, but hey, maybe there's more going on here. She's the high school bully for sure, and terrifyingly enough, reminds me a lot of the preppish girls I've encountered in my time at high school. Hell, if we're gonna get into the whole high school social hierarchy deal, the game even nails the whole idea of social cliques. Even in the intro, we see Max contemplate her opinions on each separate person she sees, and interestingly enough, this gives us an idea of where she fits into the social caste system, so to speak, or rather, her lack of ability to. Max is an outsider, she doesn't truly belong to any one clique or group, and can look at these groups in the most unbiased way, well, the most unbiased way a deluded 18-year-old hippie could. But in Max's sort of social typecasting, we can kind of see her age and position in life. It's not even like the player can make the opinionated decision for Max. Sure, later down the line you can choose to engage with many of these people past the surface level, but like a stupid high schooler would, she makes a snap judgment. This is something that we all naturally do, but Life is Strange uses Max's preconceived notion to create the social hierarchy we find in most high schools. Granted, what we make of Max's judgment is ultimately up to the player, but all in all, it's a genius way to carry out subtle yet effective world building in a short period of time. And it also makes you feel like Blackwell isn't just a soulless anecdote for the American high school. It feels like it is completely lived in by these characters, and while some of these characters may seem archetypal, goddammit if they don't seem like real high schoolers, at least to me. It also makes Max feel like a real person with her own goddamn biased opinions of the people that prowl Blackwell, even if sometimes those interpretations of people aren't detailed or insightful at all. The relationship between Chloe and Max in Life is Strange truly does reflect a lot of high school ideals that I went through. It's funny too, because in your first encounters with Chloe, she's honestly a complete loser. Realistically, she's a deadbeat high school dropout who comes off as unjustifiably pretentious at best and utterly selfish at worst. Despite this though, even if we don't accept her at first, Max does, and whether you view the relationship between the two in a romantic context or not, their misadventures are undoubtedly honest and youthful. Besides, the story of Life is Strange is written in a way that everything that Max and Chloe do, everywhere they go, it feels magical, unforgettable, despite their encounters being somewhat ordinary and everyday. And honestly, isn't this a feeling we've all felt in our teenage years, at least at some point? Minus the time travel, of course, but Life is Strange realizes that this time of both Chloe and Max's lives is not only very impactful, but kind of magical. Sometimes, we as the player make choices for Max, but at its core, we cannot take that away from her story. This is Max's best friend in her own high school experience, and they're trying to find themselves with each other. This is one of the reasons why I love Life is Strange despite its flaws. Its imperfections and its delivery is coincidentally enough the most accurate and strong factor relating to me and my high school experience. Sometimes it's cringy, stupid, and the writing is bad, but guess what? High school was cringy, high school was stupid, and theoretically speaking, if someone wrote my high school life into a video game, yeah, the writing would be fucking terrible. But to me, it feels honest and real. No other game has ever done for me. Call it what you will. Life is dumb, life is cringe, whatever, but for me, that's the point. And I really wouldn't have Life is Strange be any other way. And that's pretty much all I have to say today. Thanks guys for watching my video essay on Life is Strange and how, in my opinion, it nails the vibes of high school pretty perfectly. I know that this is only my second video essay. I do think the quality's been up quite a bit, but I'm still definitely looking for suggestions and critiques in any way possible, so definitely let me know. It's really strange to be in the position of defending Life is Strange because it's a game that I know is kind of polarizing, and there's kind of people who love it or hate it, and I wouldn't say I exactly love the game, but I do recognize a lot of its merits in its world building. So I did want to touch upon that in this video. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Check out my social media down below, and want to thank Xenox Kenway for all the gameplay footage. Thanks a lot. See you guys later.